Hello and welcome.
Yeah. Hey.
What's up?
How we doing, guys?
Afloat Podcast. Caleb.
Paolo.
What
episode?
81.
81.
Yeah.
The big A1. Arian hostess style.
We didn't have an Afloat Podcast episode last week, but we had an Afloat Friday for you. All
Cornucopia.
about Tyler, the Creator's new album.
Yep.
Go check that out if you haven't.
Yep.
Like, follow, subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram.
Yeah.
Podcast on our website, afloatclothing.com, and Apple and Spotify podcasts. So.
Yeah. Listen to more while you're already listening.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know.
Do some quick fits. We got some stuff to talk about today. So.
Yeah. Get into it.
Yeah, I got Yeezy 700s on.
Yep.
Some cargo pants and the Float snowman hoodie.
Classic.
Yeah.
Are you a big shirt under the hoodie guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I almost never wear
hoodie.
hoodie I always have a shirt on.
Okay.
Hoodie. Yeah.
For sure.
Just in case.
Yeah. No,
if I
get
get
that.
too hot and I don't have an option to take it off, it's
yeah.
like, now it's ruined. Now the day's ruined.
Right. No, it's valid. That's valid. I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Solid fit.
Yeah.
The pants. What brand? Wrangler.
Levi.
Levi. Even better.
Yeah.
Gas. They're nice.
Yeah.
Those are nice.
I need to clean my Air Forces. I haven't been wearing my Air Forces, so I need to clean them.
Do you have cleaning stuff for them? Like shoe cleaner?
Not really. Just
I got Jason Mark.
Maybe I'll bring them over here.
Bring them over here. I've had a sample bottle of Jason Mark for years. Years.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't use,
Yeah.
who am I? Look at the shoes. You don't really clean. You can't really clean any of these with Jason Mark. Not really.
Yeah.
The 96s, you think?
I mean,
I don't know.
Isn't that
It's
stuff
sweet.
all purpose?
I just don't know if it'd work well.
Only one way to find out.
Nah.
What you wearing today?
What am I wearing today? Got a Nike sock on as usual. Got a Float Clothing short on. One of one.
Yeah.
These are OG. We might have to make some shorts soon.
Soon, definitely.
Maybe some spring something. Somewhere or other.
100%. I see that happening.
Got a little Calvin Klein. Monochrome.
Shout them out.
Little Calvin Klein. Monochrome hoodie. Some wavy.
Yeah. Where'd you get that?
I got that from my neighbor.
Yeah, that's right.
I got that from my neighbor.
Right.
Washed it. Is it a man's? Is it a woman's? I don't know. But I'm wearing it. Right now it's being worn by men.
Yeah.
I like it. It's something nice, something chill. You can see the worn in it. You can see the wear.
Somehow it's worn, but it's still pretty white.
It's still very white. I think what this person must have done is wash this by itself with bleach every time they washed it.
It's
just
it's
a lot.
possible.
Yeah.
It's possible.
Rigorously.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I got on.
Yeah. Okay, well, we'll get into it. We went to a one of maybe the first hip hop and wrestling event ever.
Is
Heels Have Eyes 3.
Yep.
It was at the UIC Forum.
UIC Dorn Forum.
Steps from Paolo's apartment.
Steps. Mere moments away from where this podcast is held.
Yeah.
I probably shouldn't be geolocating myself like that.
They know. I mean.
I guess.
Don't come looking.
Don't come looking. Thanks, Caleb. We're going to start doing the podcast at your place from now on. I'm going to start dropping subtle in. Right next to that Jersey Mike's and that, Yeah, exactly. I said Jersey Mike's. I was respectful.
Yeah.
There's millions of Jersey Mike's. Horrible sandwich spot, by the way.
No, it's not.
Need to go back. Do need to go back. Do need to reevaluate. But until that, horrible sandwich spot. But I know that I need to reevaluate.
Paolo has a poor taste for food.
Not a fact. Not a fact. Not a fact.
It's debatable, but it's true. All right, we'll get into it. Heels Have Eyes.
Right.
Hip hop and wrestling.
Hip hop and wrestling.
I was very reluctant to go.
You were so reluctant to go, and it made me so pissed off. Guys, it made me so pissed off how reluctant this guy was.
I had a good time, though. I had a good time.
You had an incredible time.
I
We
had a
need
good
to.
time.
Can we put the video of the moment and you like screaming?
Maybe.
Can we put that up
Maybe.
there?
Yeah.
All right. Where is it?
Send it to me. I'll put it in.
Right here. It'll be right here.
Yeah. Okay.
Cut it. Video. And we're back.
Okay.
That's the video.
Yeah, I was reluctant to go. I had never ever been into wrestling.
Yeah.
And it just seemed like a fake sport to me. In a way, you know,
Yeah.
it's not necessarily real, but
Yeah, but like 100. I mean, yes, like the outcomes are decided,
right.
and
It's an entertainment. And
right, it's entertainment, but
and I had just never gotten into it. And
Yeah.
the only reason I really had considered going was because it was hosted by Westside Gunn.
yeah,
And I was hopeful that he might perform at the event. He didn't, and I didn't need it. It was still a good time.
yeah.
But yeah, what did you think of it as a wrestling fan?
I want to get more.
personally.
I want to get more into what you thought.
Okay,
of it.
well, okay. Like
what did you think of like the wrestling exactly? And like there were different chants that are very normal to like wrestling, like holy shit. People were yelling, holy shit, holy shit.
Yeah.
There was that. I think there was. Was there any you sick fucks?
A couple maybe.
I think there were a couple. There were a couple
Yeah.
of you suck dicks. Sorry, I probably shouldn't be saying all these things, but it was a very, very happening.
Yeah.
Very happening
the
crowd.
The chants were funny.
The chants
and then,
were
you know,
aggressive.
The
and fun.
wrestlers would hear and then, you know, kind of stare down the crowd a little bit.
They'd yell back.
Yeah.
They'd argue with the crowd.
Yeah.
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 What did you think?
I mean, it was definitely entertaining.
Yeah.
In the way that kind of it's just a lot of action.
Yeah.
There's a lot of action.
Yeah.
And you know, it's not always. It's hard to know. It's not always like the most real action. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know,
yes, it is.
some of the like it's all kind of exaggerated, but
Right.
that just adds to the drama and the.
It adds to the
action.
drama. I think
Yeah.
that it's the closer you are, the easier it obviously is to tell that like yes, they're not like
Yeah.
fully hitting each other.
Right.
But when you're farther, like I remember when I went when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And like I knew it was fake, but like watching from far away, it was like
Yeah.
you could tell.
And we ended up being pretty close.
We were really close.
That's-
We were
Yeah.
fifth rope.
Yeah.
We were fifth
That's
rope.
fair to say.
Third, there's 3 ropes in the ring. 4th rope is ringside. We were 5th.
We were one rope back from ringside.
We were
yeah.
one rope back from ringside.
Yeah.
Just in the GA.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean it was entertaining for
Yeah.
sure. Like, and it was a fun event.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I'd necessarily do it again, but it was fun.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I get that.
Yeah.
What did you think about, I mean, wasn't it cool, like, the jumping from, like, high and hitting
No,
them and
yeah.
stuff and, like, throwing them, like, bro, like, when they were, like, suplexing each other off top rope and, like, when, like, they threw each other
there
through,
was like Jesus, they're jumping from far into each other. And
Yeah.
those were crazy. Yeah.
Like,
No.
like you went. I want to watch a video right now. You were going crazy, and what's so funny is that I had this vivid picture of you in my mind while you were so stubborn about not wanting to go, and it was you in that exact moment seeing some crazy ass shit like that I knew was gonna eventually happen, and you turning to me and being like, "Woo!" and freaking out.
Yeah.
I was like so happy when I fucking caught that video and
Yeah.
like caught, you know, the few times that you did that. You did that a couple of times, man. You were like,
There were some moments.
yeah, bro.
There were some big hits.
Yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
it's like, that's just what makes it, like, that's the thing. It makes it crazy. You
Right,
know, that's
yeah.
what, you know, you can't throw a chair. You can't hit someone with a chair in UFC or anything else.
Right.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's fun, bro. It's
Yeah.
cartoonish, sure, in a way, but, like, it's enjoyable. It's a
Yeah.
fun time.
So when you went to that wrestling event when you were younger,
Mhm.
were they kind of introducing more storylines?
There was a running storyline already that was kind of happening.
I was expecting a little more of a storyline.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it's just kind of like fighting for no reason.
It's kind of difficult for.
It's like, why do these people want to fight each other?
Right. No, that's valid. It's harder for.
Yeah.
Like, kind of situations like that where it is like.
Yeah.
An indie event, and it's kind of a standoff event. Like there is now like champions of like but like there kind of needs to be like somewhat of a base.
No, I get it.
So that stories can then be formed.
Yeah.
I'm sure he wants to do it. Like Westside wants to do all that, and I think he's building heels and he's building. I think that's starting to happen.
This won't be the one. This won't be the only.
I don't think so.
There's gonna be more.
Yeah, I think there's gonna be more, but. It's just I don't know. It's interesting. I think that will build more. But like there was a storyline. Like I remember the specific storyline, and I've like rewatched the like one I went to a few times. But it's like one of the guys was like one of the main heel.
Yeah.
Was like obviously there. I think it was Seth Rollins. It was Seth Rollins at the time. I'm pretty sure. And Kane, who is like this old heel from like the 90s, who then stepped into this position of being like he like ran Raw. He was like the producer on Raw.
Heel meaning villain.
Yeah, heel means heel means villain.
Yeah.
Heel means villain.
Like the bad guy.
Right. God, it's crazy, wrestling terms now.
Heel. That's like
what's babyface?
The good guy?
Yeah! Okay. You fucking killed it. There you go, kid. There you go. Makes me happy. Puts a smile on my heart.
Yeah.
So Seth Rollins, so sorry, I got sidetracked. So Kane got this call from the main people at WWE, and they were like, hey, we're not going to be here tonight. We're stuck in traffic. Right. The Chicago traffic. They always make such a thing of like Chicago. Like I remember, sidetracking real quick, but I remember another event that was in Chicago. It was like a pay-per-view, and the wrestlers like left the building. Yeah. Like they literally they left Allstate Arena.
Yeah.
And then one of the announcers was like, they're probably at Wrigley Field right now. It's like, bro, that's not how this works. But I get it. Yeah. But yeah, so the bosses called and were like, we're not gonna be here.
Yeah.
So you're gonna run the show. So he just created this like wild like match card. He was like, I'm gonna come out fight. Like I'm gonna be in the last match, which is sick because I got to see Kane, which is really awesome. If you know wrestling, getting to see Kane at my age and when I was a kid is fucking cool. That was like I rarely wrestled at that point and wrestled then, so it was awesome to see him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he like fought in the last match against Seth Rollins. I remember like watching him like punch him and like it looked like his tooth popped out. It was sick.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great moment. Yeah. But yeah, so with all of that, there are storylines.
Right.
I think that will pick up with more Heels Have Eyes events.
And even without the storylines, I still I couldn't even tell you why.
Yeah.
It's some psychology with wrestling that should be maybe researched, but I still found myself rooting for someone in almost every match.
Right.
Just for some reason getting attached to one wrestler or another.
Right.
And it's just weird how that works.
Yeah, but it's fun. There's people that drag you in.
Right.
And there's other people that completely deflect you and they're like, fuck Chicago. That's the biggest thing. It's like I remember someone was like, fuck Chicago, and that's the biggest thing for heels to do is they go into every city and they just start shit talking the city.
Right.
So
and then past the wrestling, there was, because of Westside Gunn being the host of the event, there were multiple hip hop performances.
Yeah.
Rome Streets opened it up, performing in the ring.
In the ring with Derringer DJing.
Yeah, which was fun.
Very cool.
Yeah, it was a short set, but it was a good opener.
Like 3 songs.
Yeah.
It was nice.
Yeah, it was a cool opener.
It was like, this is sick.
All of Westside Gunn's friends are there, so someone should be performing.
Right. I'm sure Griselda's got to be put on.
Yeah. And then afterwards, there was about an hour of DJ Premier and Pete Rock.
I think it was less. I think it was like 45.
Yeah.
I think it was 45.
But, yeah, for me and Paolo, I don't think that means a lot for us.
Not exactly. I understand the importance.
I mean,
I fully understand the importance.
Yeah.
I think it's insane that we got to see that live. Yeah. Like, that's something that, like, we might not really... I think it's something that we don't fully understand right now.
Yeah.
But those are two, like, pioneers of hip-hop.
Right, yeah.
100%.
I don't think just because we're so young and we weren't around for the start of hip hop, I don't think we can really understand what the cultural significance of that was.
Right.
But I think it was big. I think we both know that it was huge. And it was just cool that for kind of what was just an indie, like you said, indie wrestling event at a small venue, was able to get two huge hip hop pioneers to DJ
legends,
for a
icons.
while.
Yeah, it was
and
sick.
Together on the same stage at the same time.
Wow,
Like,
going back to
I don't
back.
even think that's ever happened.
Yeah,
Like,
and Primo did he did Pete Rock's They Reminisce Over You. He did that.
Yeah.
Which was sick. Like, it was cool to see Premier do it.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome.
And it's just cool that people that really started hip hop are still around and part of the scene today.
Right.
Even if it's in kind of a smaller way that doesn't maybe get recognized as much.
Maybe not, but still, bro, that's just still such a special moment. Special moments are special moment for everyone that was there.
Yeah.
That's just sick.
Yeah.
That's just sick. And then we got to see Static. Bro, we saw some of the best DJs and producers in the game ever.
Static Selecta came in as well.
Static Selecta, fucking, like, I think maybe we know him a little bit more.
Yeah.
But, like,
I don't even know. I couldn't even tell you. I couldn't even tell you that many songs of his, but.
Big New York guy.
Yeah. No, he's got some songs for sure. And. Yeah, I think, and he brought Boldy James with him, Dave East with him.
Yeah, he brought Dave East, which we didn't realize until right before this podcast.
Yeah, you didn't have to say that, but we didn't.
We didn't know. I mean, we didn't hear his name.
Yeah, they didn't really announce it.
And, like,
we're not huge Dave East fans.
I think I'd recognize Dave East if I saw that, like, it was Dave. You know what I mean? If I saw his name.
If you knew he was gonna be there, you'd be like, oh, that's probably Dave East.
That's Dave East.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it was just. All in all, it was a cool event, even without any performance from Westside Gunn.
Yeah.
And
it would have been nice, but you know.
Yeah.
And what's crazy that I told you at the show.
Yeah.
That I still think is wild is, like, everyone at that show would go crazy if he did a song. Yeah. Like, if he did a song when everyone was performing, like after everyone performed.
Yeah.
The whole crowd would go crazy. Yeah. Like if they threw on, like, Dr. Birds or, like, you know, any of those. People would have gone stupid.
We would have.
I think almost everybody in that crowd would have.
Probably, yeah. I mean, that's the main reason that they came is for an appreciation of Westside Gunn.
Right. Yeah. No. It was. Yeah. Sorry. It was sick though. It was sick. Yeah. It was a great event to be a part of.
Yeah.
I got to get a poster of the new album, which is sick. They were hanging outside. Grab one.
You got to get one.
I did.
Yeah, I know.
What do you mean?
It was just funny you said I got to get a poster.
I did.
Like you, yeah. It was just a funny thing because you just took it off a street post.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. If we went back after, though, they would have been gone.
Yeah.
So I got to get one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. You got anything else to say about that? I was going to talk a little bit about, like, Fashion Rebels and the clothing.
Yeah.
Because I think that's such an interesting part. Because, like, if you remember...
merch is a big deal for Westside Gunn's fans, us included.
Merch is a really big deal.
He does really well with the merch. And a lot of hip-hop artists at his size and his popularity are not able to do as well with the merch as he is. It's
a clothing brand.
It's very unique. It's just him.
It's
in a merch line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What he did is what do you mean?
Like I feel like
I see what you're saying.
It matches up so well with who he is, and kind of it's very loud and all over the place. Yeah. But also just cool.
Acquainted well.
Yeah.
Beautifully put together. I mean, I love a lot of what he puts out. Yeah. Also, because a lot of what he puts out is like wrestling stuff. Sometimes he put out a lot of sports and wrestling characters on different shirts and hoodies and whatnot. So that's just like you love it. But I mean, it's just interesting. Like merch was such everyone was trying to get merch.
Yeah,
I think everybody.
I think the merch line was longer than it needed to be because a lot of people just thought it was a line to go or needed to go. It wasn't clear that it was the merch line.
Yeah,
but still there were a lot of people getting merch.
There were a lot of people
there were wearing like other merch as well.
Oh, like
both of us were wearing
everybody. Yeah,
wearing merch that we already had.
Yeah,
but
there was a lot of people in merch, and that's the thing too. That was like funny that like I wear like my Westside Gunn hoodie. This like very loud,
it's right here.
aggressive hoodie, right? And it's like, you know, I walk around fucking campus and just like, you know, everywhere that I go mostly, and it's like, no one else got this shit. Like, who else got something like this? It's
a niche piece, and it's insanely loud.
It's insanely loud. And then I saw like 7, 8 other motherfuckers at least in it, and it's like, yeah, I mean, that's crazy to see other people in it.
It's the place to wear it.
Yeah, of course. And motherfuckers were rocking it just as hard, obviously. Yeah. It's a great piece, but yeah, it was like...
It's a funny moment.
It was funny just to like... be so used to having this piece as such like a, nah, this is mine, this is obviously mine, and then you see like a bunch of other motherfuckers in it. It's like shit.
Yeah.
There it is. Wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
But yeah, the merch is just crazy. It's such a big deal for Westside Gunn fans.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
We didn't cop anything.
No.
I didn't really.
I mean, yeah.
I didn't want to wait in line.
Right.
I wasn't trying to wait in a line.
Yeah, and just. You know, the money of it.
Money too.
Spending money on t-shirts when we already, both of us have so many t-shirts.
Way too many shirts. And these are expensive.
And we've already got Westside Gunn
We got a lot of Westside Gunn merch.
Yeah, for those 3 reasons, we weren't going to get anything. But it's still, he had some cool stuff there for sure.
Yeah, he did. He had some sick ass shit.
Yeah. Yeah. But that was Heels Have Eyes 3. That was a cool event. I'm glad you kind of made me go. It was good.
I knew that in hindsight you would look back and be like, that was worth it.
The more I thought about it, there's a lot more upside than downside with this.
100%.
So I should just
100%.
go. Like,
exactly.
Try something new.
Yeah.
And it was fun.
And that's the thing. It's like, you know, like I understand not being into wrestling and what, like, sure, bro, you know, everyone has their taste, not a problem. But like, for one night, I think everyone can get into wrestling. Everyone can get into it. It's just a fun time.
Yeah, because I have we're gonna move on soon, but I have a hard time getting into UFC.
Yeah.
Just because it's so violent and brutal.
Yeah.
And wrestling is just kind of a fun, lighthearted version of that.
Right. Yeah.
It's just like
we'll go to more.
It's more extreme in a way. Because no one jumps off the top of the octagon onto the other person.
Well, Khabib.
Typically, it doesn't happen.
No, it doesn't. But it never happens. But
no one's throwing each other out of the octagon or whatever. It's just there's a lot more you can. It's just there's a lot less. The sky's almost the sky's the limit with wrestling.
Sky's the limit.
You can do anything because you can just make up whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
And it's just for fun.
I should show you a match or two, low-key, or at least some like highlights, because you'd flip your shit at some of the things these people have jumped off of.
No, I'm sure.
There's a video or two that are just insane.
Yeah. And we didn't mention that the last wrestling match was a steel cage match.
Right, the last one was a steel cage match.
Which was kind of crazy.
It was sick. The thing that upset me about that match, though, which is, this is not to fucking be away.
Yeah.
The only thing that was was that they put, the doors and the chairs and all this shit under the ring at first, right? And I was like, great, someone's gonna go down. Like classic wrestling, they're gonna go down, they're gonna look under the ring, and it's gonna be like that, disguise, or that thing of they pull out what they want, and then they just start smashing motherfuckers with it, right? So I was ready for that, but then it got to the final match, and no one had used anything, so I was like, all right, they're using it all in the final match, and then right before the match started, they just pulled everything out from underneath the ring and threw it in, which I'm sure they just kind of It could have been on purpose. It could have been a mistake. They didn't plan for that to happen that way exactly. They realized that they couldn't get to, I don't know. It could have been a scheduling error or whatever, or just kind of an issue with the steel cage and whatnot. So I get it. But it would have been very nice if it was that classic moment of going under the ring and grabbing something and then going back up and smashing your opponent with it. You know?
Yeah.
You gotta fucking love it. Oh my god. Well, bro, the thing is like, dude, we're not gonna go to like WWE or AEW, but like if Heels Have Eyes happen again, I think I'm dragging you. I'm
gonna put up a fight, but
I know you will. I know you will. We'll figure it out when we get to it. I mean, the thing is that he's also probably not going to do one in Chicago for like a minute.
Yeah. I just want him to go on tour. I go on tour, but...
Yeah. It'd be sick if it was both.
Sure.
You know? Heels Have Eyes, Westside Gunn tour.
Sure.
Both.
I'd go.
Both together.
I'd go to that. But
I bet.
Alright, should we move on?
We should move on. Yeah. We talked about that for like 30 or so. That was a good bit.
Maybe. I don't think it was that long.
Probably not, but we talked for a minute.
We did. What's up with this off-white golf?
All right, yeah. So I want to talk about this. So this is really cool to me. Off-white, which I'm sure you all know because we've talked about it.
Started by Virgil
Abloh. Is officially getting into golf.
It seems like a lot of brands are. Like we talked about this a little while ago.
Right.
A bunch of streetwear brands making, like, there's a few different streetwear brands that make stuff specifically for golf.
Right. And
it's becoming a lot more popular. I think you can also attest to that as you work with golfers.
Right.
It's getting a lot more popular to have kind of like streetwear pieces in golf, or just just get a little more fashionable with golf.
100%.
Wearing kind of plain golf uniform. Almost.
Right. Marbonne is definitely one of the leaders in that, I think, for sure. Yeah. They actually just came out with a Keith Haring collaboration, which is cool. It's awesome that Off-White is also stepping into that, and I feel like Off-White can be a very interesting kind of...
Do we know who's...
fashion face in golf?
Who's designing it?
I do not know.
Yeah.
No,
I'd be curious to know, but I don't know. I don't know if they've.
I should look into that. It might not be. It might just be kind of. Yeah, I don't know. I'll take a look.
It's also interesting because they just got sold to Blue Star Alliance.
Right. Blue Star
Alliance.
So
I don't know if that has something to do with this, but
maybe. But yeah, it's interesting. One thing I wanted to add though is like you're talking about popular brands getting into it. Kith has done collaborations with TaylorMade for years now. A few years. There's this kid at the place I work at that has a Kith wedge, and it's so awesome.
Yeah.
It's so awesome. It's like the details. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like it's the details on that thing. Oh, it's good. Yeah. It's real good. Let's get into Off-White.
Yeah.
Off-White golf. So the thing, or the title of the golf Off-White kind of collection is called All in One, which I think is interesting. It's a play on hole in one.
Sure.
But so the golfer that debuted it was Paris Helinsky. She debuted it last week in Saudi Arabia.
She's European.
She's European. Yeah, she plays on the LPGA. This is a golf bag. We'll put all of those up, but that's the golf bag, which is, just kind of sick.
Yeah, no, that is.
Just having the Off-White on there is
that's
kind of really cool.
It's kind of just like her name and then.
It's her sponsors, yeah.
A lot of logos, yeah.
But
having Off-White as one of the golf sponsors is cool.
Kind of cool. So over the course of 3 days, Helinsky wore striped sweater. She wore a striped sweater vest. Jesus, I can't read. I can read. I'm good at reading, but right now I'm not.
You were bragging to me the other day about how good you are at reading.
I was saying I should be a voice actor because I'm really good at reading out loud in class. Here I am, fucking it up. Over the course of 3 days, Helinsky wore striped sweater vests, performance polos, and lightweight base layers adorned with new script Off-White golf logo. With the new script Off-White golf logo that she designed and created herself.
She created the logo herself.
She created the logo herself. The
way that her name is written.
I think it either could have been that, or maybe it's just the very simple that.
No, that's already been their logo, I feel like. Or maybe.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
I'm not, it's uncertain.
Yeah.
With the new script, off-white golf logo.
I think it's the red one. The red and white one.
Yeah, it probably is. Yeah, I mean, these pieces that we're seeing right now are simple, but they're off-white, and they're kind of just nice. I could definitely have bias, but I mean, this just looks quality.
Yeah,
I enjoy the kind of play on the sweater vest and the collars on it and everything.
It's clean. It's kind of what you expect to be on a golf course.
Right.
Are those golf shoes?
Yeah.
Can I see that?
Yeah, take a look at that.
Yeah, I mean those are just the shoes that Off-White has been making for a while, and they're now
put some spikes on
golf.
It. Yeah. I mean, I think it's cool. Look at the back of this though. How sick is that?
That's sick.
That's sick. And this is like golf polo or golf, some type of golf shirt that she's wearing.
Yeah.
The Off-White kind of very basic script visor is also nice.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, and then I think this is another one maybe. Yeah, that's a different one.
Yeah.
Is it like Cobra or it's Off-White? I think it's probably Off-White. Yeah, here's some more stuff. This is more of a basic all black kind of look.
It's interesting.
Look at this. Oh, this is sick. This is sick.
Yeah.
The yellow. I love the yellow.
The yellow is nice.
And I think, I mean, like, if that's the skirt, like, kind of, like, cinch part of it or whatever,
yeah,
that's
it looks
sick.
like it. Yeah.
And that's kind of playing on, like, the construction belt that they put out in, like, 2016 or 15 or whatever it was. So that's awesome. I think this will be cool when we see the full collection.
Yeah, is this just like a teaser?
This is just a teaser. It says that it's going to come out on the 5th of December. So
okay.
Yeah, we'll see it in time. It's going to be sick. I'm really excited for this. I think this is cool. It's going to be for men and women.
It's cool. I've got some mixed feelings on it.
Yeah, what's that? Tell me
more. I don't know. Some of it just seems a little too basic.
Yeah, I get it.
Like, I don't know. I feel Virgil was always kind of pushing the envelope, you know what I mean?
Right.
And kind of pushing boundaries. And I think golf is a sport with a lot of boundaries in it, especially the fashion part of it. So
definitely.
I think there's a lot to kind of play with there.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we haven't seen the full collection.
We haven't seen the full collection yet.
Some of it seems pretty cool. Some of it seems just kind of safe and basic.
Yeah,
but
I get that.
We'll see what it is. I don't want to make a full judgment on it yet.
Until we see. Yeah, for sure.
We'll see.
Yeah, that was just, what she wore over the span of 3 days. So there's definitely probably more, especially obviously this was only the women's catalog of it. I'm sure there's a men's catalog that's a little different. So, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll talk about it. We're definitely going to talk about it when it comes out.
Well, that'll be revisited.
That will 100% be revisited.
Stay tuned for that.
Stay tuned for that one. But yeah, that's just a fun little... I fuck with that. That's exciting.
Yeah.
That's more than anything else. I hope that it's... I agree with what you're saying, and I think it should play more along those lines, 100%.
Yeah.
And I hope that does happen, but overall, I think it's cool that Off-White is stepping into golf.
Yeah. No,
That's a cool brand that I enjoy stepping into the golf game.
Right.
I love that.
I'm not... I think it can definitely has... There's definitely space in golf for a brand like Off-White.
100%.
But...
Yeah, I agree. I think Off-White should do what Off-White has always done, and that is push boundaries.
Yeah.
With clothing. So, yeah.
Yeah. You have one more thing you want to talk about.
Yeah.
Before we do that, can we speak a little on Young Thug?
Please.
Young Thug was just this week or last week. Yeah, last week released from jail.
Yeah.
He had been in jail for almost 2 years.
Yep.
It's the longest trial in Georgia State history, I believe.
Is it really? 2 years?
Yeah.
Jesus.
He was in jail for 2 years, so yeah. It was a big deal because he was facing RICO charges.
Yeah, he would have gone away for a really long time.
And I think historically RICO charges have kind of always just meant that you're go to jail for a while.
Yeah. Yeah. That's you're done.
Yeah. So the fact that he was able to just take some time served, take a long probation, and be released is great.
It's awesome.
I wanted to bring it up just because I think
it's so important.
It's important, and I also think that it's a time now because of the probation. There's a lot of people posting memes and stuff with, different clips and whatever, like Young Thug's gonna be doing ABC rap now.
Yeah.
Like, you won't be able to rap about, whatever he's been rapping about before, like gangs and guns and violence, whatever. Not that was all that he rapped about.
No, yeah, that's the thing. I don't feel like that's like, I mean, he definitely rapped about that a good bit, but not always.
Yeah, definitely not always, and definitely a lot of his raps were kind of fun, and
right.
A lot of them were fun and upbeat and just like good music. Just like he has some real classic songs, and they're
bangers.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so I think people just see the terms of the probation and think, and I think you read them and you're like, oh, this is pretty strict. Like, you don't want to even come close to breaking this, because if he does, then he has to go to jail for 20 years.
Right.
Which would just suck.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think he's obviously going to be on top of it.
Yeah.
But I think this is a point in his career where he could have almost a Ye type of arc.
What do you mean?
Like,
excuse me, sorry.
Kanye kind of never really rapped about drugs and guns and that type of stuff. He kind of always just rapped about his life,
right,
whatever.
Right.
And not that, I mean, that might be Young Thug's life.
Right.
And we don't really know him. But
yeah.
But I think it could be a time where Young Thug kind of feels like, oh, I've been given kind of a second chance at life almost, because I don't know if he really thought that he had a chance in court.
Yeah.
Even with the great lawyer that he had, I don't know. So
his lawyer did some crazy shit in that.
His lawyer spent like 5 weekends in jail or something. It was crazy. He was
sick.
He was held in contempt of the court. He
just
had to go to jail on the weekends.
He was like bopping along to like Young Thug's songs in court with Young Thug and shit. Like, they were completely It was sick.
And then there's that amazing photo of them after like they find out what's happening with the trial. They're just like fist bumping and
I don't know
smiling.
if I've seen that.
I'll show you.
Okay, please show me.
But I'll put it on here too.
Yeah.
But I think there could be, maybe he goes religious. Maybe he starts making clean albums like Kanye did.
Right.
I don't know. I think this could be a very different side of Young Thug that we've never really seen before.
Yeah.
In his music, and it could be he's got a new lease on life and he just wants to. Who knows what he's gonna do? But I think it's interesting to see what because he's already kind of teased a song with Lil Baby. I think. I think so.
And whatever Whammy says goes.
Right. Yeah. So I think we'll see. It might just be the same old, and nothing changes. And
right.
The court's okay with that and whatever it is.
Yeah.
But there could also be a major change, and that's just something interesting to watch for.
Yeah, we'll see what happens, but yeah, man, it's just it's good news. It's just good news.
Yeah.
And I remember like it really was like 2 weeks ago or like a week and a half ago or so where I told you.
You're like, oh, it could be a mistrial.
I was like, it could be a mistrial. I was like, what if he actually got off? Yeah. I remember you were like, bro, if he got off.
It's like, I've been listening to Young Thug a lot the past week now, just in almost just like celebrating, but it's just, he's an amazing artist and he's got some real classic albums.
Yeah. I
listened to half of Jeffrey on the drive over here and I was like, wow, this is a good album.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's just all I wanted to talk about. I think.
Have you listened to Beautiful Thugger Girls?
Not in full, I don't think.
Have you listened to the first half?
Maybe.
The first half is really good. I haven't listened to that album in a minute, but that was like, I remember when we'd rank all the albums we listened to in the year?
Yeah.
We should do that again.
Yeah, we could do that.
We should do that on the pod again.
We have a platform, yeah.
We do, because we did it. Remember we would send each other our lists on New Year's Eve?
Yeah, that was fun.
That was so cute, man.
I was like, Paolo, what are your top 10 albums in the year?
Dude, okay, we're doing that from now on.
Yeah.
Alright, we're doing that. We'll do one this year.
Yeah, look for it.
We'll look for it. We'll do a top 10. That'll be in a Flow Friday for
sure.
January. That'll be our January.
First Friday of January. Look for that.
Bang. Already got it fucking penciled in, kiddo. Be there. We'll be there.
You sent this post that there's going to be a women's baseball league in like the next 2 years.
There's going to be a women's baseball league. I believe it's going to be happening during the summer. And I believe, from what I saw, there were 6 teams.
Okay.
I'm not certain.
I have a lot of questions, but have you looked into this? Like,
I haven't looked into it at all.
Yeah.
More than anything else, I just think it's a great thing.
Yeah, it's
like
cool.
I just think it's a great thing that's
there's
continuing to be more and more awareness and more support towards women's sports, women's professional sports.
For sure, I'm a big fan of women's sports.
Yeah.
You are too.
Of course.
We've gone to Sky Games together. We were at the championship together in 2021.
Right.
That was an amazing moment.
Dude, I never forget that moment.
Yeah, I mean, women's sports are a very important thing.
That's the second best sporting event I've ever been to. Heels Divides 3. Number one.
It's number one for me.
No, it's number one for me too. But
yeah, it's the most electric atmosphere I've ever been a part of, I think.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if anything else matches it. I always play this game whenever it's brought up, and I don't think anything can.
Right.
That was crazy.
Yeah, so women's sports are really important. And I think I've become a big baseball fan the past 2 years. I think you're kind of becoming a bigger fan of baseball recently.
Dude, we were going to talk about this. I am becoming a big fan. You would throw these names at me last year.
Yeah. And
like kind of during this summer too a bit, and I'd just be like, I ain't sure, bro. Like, I'd go along, but like I wouldn't really know shit.
Right.
I'm starting I remember how like hyped you were about Juan Soto last year. Like he's like off the Padres and like where's he gonna go? Yeah. And it's like this big deal, and I didn't know shit. I really only knew about Shohei at that point.
Right.
And dude, now it's like I told you. Like I texted in the group chat today.
Stuff. You were watching the Cubs.
I knew a bit.
You mostly just watched the Cubs and didn't really know a lot about.
Right. I didn't know about the sport. I'm sorry. I didn't know much about the league.
Right.
But I knew a bit about the Cubs because we were having a crazy back half of the season.
Right. Yeah.
Not this past year, but the year before that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting into it. I'm really getting into it. Baseball's fun.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like when the Cubs were in the World Series in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Playoff baseball is so much fun.
Yeah, it's a magical environment.
It's honestly, I'm not gonna lie, it's the one time, not the one time, but it's like it's almost awesome how long it is. Like it's great that it's 9 innings. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like there's just so much time. There's so much time. Like, and that's the thing too is like runs can happen at like any Mets being down 3-1 against who'd they beat? Milwaukee?
Yeah.
Mets being down 3-1 against Milwaukee and then just coming back and winning the game in like the 7th, 8th, and 9th.
Yeah.
Like that's ridiculous. You know?
No, but the women's baseball.
Yeah,
I have a lot of questions.
I just looked it up.
Yeah.
I am curious, but go ahead.
I don't know how many answers we have right now.
Yeah.
But it's just cool that this is something that's actually going to happen.
Yeah, I think it's great. I think there needs to be. Yeah, I think there should be like there is with the men's major sport leagues. There should be women's as well. You know, 100%.
Yeah, and I think there are, I think it's kind of a stereotype or just the way it works is that men play baseball, women play softball,
right.
And there's not really a way for you might play softball in high school or even college, but then after that there's nowhere for you to, even if you're the best softball player in the world,
right?
Like there's not really, as far as I know, there's not really like professional softball in like the way that you can make a career out of it.
Right.
So this is just cool.
This is awesome.
This is just encouraging.
This is encouraging all girls everywhere to play sports and play all different types of sports and get into it.
Yeah.
And
giving women role models to look up to.
Exactly.
As well.
The same thing with Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese and all these different players from the WNBA, Ionescu as well, Taurasi, all those different players. And
sound a little bit like LeBron right now.
National Dynamics Day. Shout out. Queen Copper, stud. Come on.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. Who did you say that about? Mark Andrews? Mark Andrews, stud. One of the best videos to grace the internet ever. I think it's just great. I think that if you were to have a daughter in the coming years of our lives, like how awesome would it be that they would have a role model to look up to that looks just like them.
And it's not just going to be fathers and son playing catch. Now it's going to be mother and daughter.
Right.
You know.
Sure. Exactly. I think it's great.
Yeah.
Everyone should be playing. You know, that's the thing. It should be inclusive to everybody.
Yeah.
I think it's great that this is happening. Yeah, that was just something that I saw and I was like, fuck yeah, bro. I think the women's hockey league might also be expanding a little bit too, which I would love. I would love a women's.
Didn't know about it.
Yeah, there's been a women's hockey league for I think 3 to 4 years now, maybe. Okay. Maybe only 2, but between 2 and 4 years for sure.
That's cool.
I would love a Chicago team.
Yeah.
There isn't one yet. I'd love a Chicago team. I know I'd go out and support.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I'm all about it. I'm all about inclusivity in sports. Everybody deserves to play.
Yeah.
Everybody deserves it, man. So, all over it. Some I wanted to add in, you know? Yeah. I think it's important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely important.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think we'll wrap it up there.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching another Afloat podcast.
Yep.
Episodes every Thursday.
You know that.
So Friday.
Every first Friday of the month.
You got it.
Come on now.
Like, comment, subscribe, all the stuff we said at the beginning, and we'll see you next week.
Stay afloat. New stuff coming soon.
Yeah. Also, we're releasing new clothing. We didn't talk about that today. But we talked about it last podcast. So
we did.
If you want to hear about that, you can
go check that out over there.
Or you'll see it in the future as well. But
very soon, hopefully.
Yeah.
Very soon. For sure. All right. Peace.